The cold night and the stranger. The night was bitter. The streets quiet except for the rustle of wind and the hum of faraway traffic. On the corner of a broken building, a homeless boy sat curled up, holding tight to his only possession, a worn, thin blanket. Life had been harsh on him. He had no family, no home, and no hope. Yet his heart still carried a small flame of kindness. That night, as the moonlight spilled across the cracked pavement, he noticed something unusual in the alley. A shape moved weakly, struggling as though it could barely hold on at first. He thought it was just another person lost in the night, but when he drew closer, he froze. The figure lying on the ground was not human. Its skin shimmered faintly, pale and silver blue. Its eyes glowed faintly, and its breathing came in sharp, painful gasps. The boy's heart pounded. He had heard stories on old radio broadcasts about strange things falling from the sky, rumors about visitors not from Earth. Yet here one was, right in front of him, dying, shivering in the cold night. The alien's hands trembled as it tried to move, but it was too weak. Its lips parted, a strange sound escaping like broken words lost in the wind. The boy hesitated, fear gripping him. Should he run? Should he scream? Should he pretend he never saw this? But as he looked closer, he saw the pain in the alien's face, the way its chest rose with effort, the way its glowing eyes pleaded silently. Something inside the boy shifted. The fear was still there, but stronger than fear was his compassion. He knew what it was like to be abandoned, to be helpless, to feel the cold cutting through bones slowly. He pulled the only blanket he had around his shoulders, the one thing keeping him warm in nights of hunger and loneliness. He looked at it, then at the alien, and without another thought, he gently placed it over the trembling figure. The alien's body twitched, a weak sound escaping its throat, as if it was both shocked and grateful. The boy crouched next to it, whispering softly, even though he was unsure if it could understand, "You'll be okay now, rest. Please don't die here." The alien's glowing eyes blinked once, then closed. The boy stayed there through the night, shivering as the cold ate at him, his own body shaking. He had nothing left for himself, but he could not leave the stranger alone. When morning came, weak light broke through the gray clouds, and the boy found the alley empty. The alien was gone. The blanket was gone, and for a moment, he wondered if it had all been a dream. But deep inside, he knew it was real. He had seen the otherworldly glow. He had heard the strange broken voice. He sighed, pulling his arms around himself, colder than ever, but also strangely lighter. For the first time in a long time, he had done something that mattered, something more than just surviving. What he didn't know was that by giving away his only possession, he had changed the course of his life forever. That night of kindness had set into motion something far greater than he could ever imagine. Because as the sun climbed higher, shadows moved on the edge of the city. Hundreds of tall figures marched silently, armored in strange metal that shimmered like liquid fire. 200 alien warriors had come, their eyes burning with fury and purpose, and they were searching for the one human who had given hope to their dying kin. The arrival of the warriors. The morning began like any other in the broken streets. Cars rushed past the city center. People hurried to their jobs, and no one noticed the boy sitting on the cold pavement. He hugged his knees, still shivering from the night, wondering where the strange being had gone. In his heart, he hoped it survived, that maybe his blanket had been enough. But far from the boy's sight, the ground trembled lightly, as if the earth itself was stirring awake. In the outskirts of the city, near the old factories, lights split the air, strange arcs of blue and silver ripping open the sky. From those lights, tall figures stepped through, 200 in number, armored in plates that seemed alive, glowing faintly with power. Their helmets bore marks like ancient runes. Their weapons hummed softly with energy that made the air feel heavy. The citizens who saw them screamed, running for cover. Police sirens wailed. The news broadcast went wild with panic. "Unknown forces have appeared near the old district," voices shouted through radios. "Everyone is advised to stay indoors." But these warriors did not attack. They did not raise their weapons against the people. Instead, they moved in perfect formation, marching with silence that was more terrifying than chaos. At the front was their leader, taller than the rest, his armor etched with golden streaks. His eyes scanned the human world with disdain, yet hidden in that stare was also deep determination. He raised a hand and the warriors halted. A voice deep and resonant echoed through their helmets, translated somehow into human speech. "Find the one who showed mercy, the one who gave warmth when none was owed, the boy. unaware of this storm building at the city's edge, wandered the alleys searching for scraps of food. He coughed from hunger, his body weak. But in his mind, the memory of the glowing eyes would not leave. He felt a strange peace, though he was more vulnerable than ever without his blanket. He whispered to himself, "I hope you're alive out there." Back at the city's border, soldiers of Earth had already gathered. Tanks rolling in, helicopters circling above. Commanders barked orders, fearful of what this new force meant. "Hold the line. Do not let them advance into the city," one shouted. But the alien warriors stood firm, their glowing weapons still at their sides. As if waiting, the leader raised his arm again, and this time his voice boomed across the battlefield. "We come not for war, we come for the boy. The one who gave his warmth to our kin, bring him to us." The humans on the defensive lines froze, confusion spreading like fire. What boy? Who could they mean? In the city, rumors spread fast. "Aliens are demanding a boy," people whispered. "What boy? Why?" Some mocked it, some feared it, but for the boy himself, the truth was still hidden. He wandered near the old marketplace when he saw people pointing to the sky. Military jets roared above, streaking past with weapons armed. The boy felt the ground tremble under his feet. He turned a corner and saw a sight that stole his breath. Rows of alien warriors marching, their armor gleaming like fire under the sun. Panic broke out around him. Humans screamed and scattered, hiding in shops, in homes, in cars. But the boy stood frozen, unable to move, his wide eyes reflecting the alien army. The leader stepped forward, his towering frame casting a long shadow across the cracked street. The boy's heart pounded like a drum. The alien's golden eyes locked onto him instantly, as if the entire army had come for this single moment. "Human child," the leader's voice thundered. "You gave your warmth to one of our own. When no one else did, your kindness was seen, your sacrifice remembered." The boy staggered back, shaking his head in disbelief. I just gave a blanket." "It was nothing," he whispered. The alien's gaze hardened. "To you it was nothing, but to us it was life." Behind him, the warriors slammed their weapons against their armor in unison, the sound echoing like thunder across the city. The boy realized in that moment his small act of mercy had summoned an army, and now the whole world was watching, unsure if this was salvation or the beginning of something far more dangerous. The choice. The street had gone silent, except for the humming of alien armor and the faint whimper of people hiding behind broken doors and shattered windows. The boy stood in the middle, small and fragile compared to the towering figures before him. He wanted to run, yet his legs felt like stone. The alien leader stepped closer, his shadow covering the boy completely. "Do not fear," the leader said, his voice calm now, though still heavy with power. "You gave warmth when you had nothing to give. Such an act is not forgotten by our people." The boy swallowed hard, his voice trembling. I didn't mean anything by it, I just didn't want to see someone die." The leader tilted his head, almost curious. "That is why it matters, child. You gave without expecting, you gave though you had nothing left." Around them, soldiers of Earth raised their weapons. Tanks pointed directly at the alien ranks. Through loudspeakers, a commander barked, "Step away from the boy! Leave him or face fire." The humans were afraid. They thought the boy was being taken to them. 200 armored aliens marching into their city for one child meant danger, meant war. The boy looked at the soldiers, then at the aliens, fear battling inside him. "What do you want from me?" he whispered, his voice almost breaking. The alien leader bent down slightly, lowering his golden eyes to meet the boy's. "We want nothing but your presence. Your kindness has touched our kin and our council, and by our law such a gift must be honored." Behind the leader, a sudden movement came, and the alien the boy had saved stepped forward, its silver-blue skin now strong again, eyes glowing with renewed life. The boy gasped, recognition hitting him. The alien placed a hand on its chest and bowed deeply. "This is the human who gave me life," it said, its voice clear and strong now. The warriors behind all struck their weapons against their armor again, the sound like rolling thunder. The boy shook his head, tears stinging his eyes. I don't deserve this," the silver-blue alien replied firmly. "You deserve more than you know." But the human soldiers did not lower their weapons. The commander shouted again, "Release the boy or we open fire." The tension in the air grew sharp like a blade hanging between peace and destruction. The boy felt trapped between two worlds, one that had always ignored him, and one that now seemed ready to worship him. The alien leader turned his gaze toward the human army, his voice rising. You misunderstand. We do not take, we honor, but if you strike us, you will unleash fury you cannot contain. The tanks rolled forward slightly. The helicopters dipped lower. One wrong move and the city would turn into a battlefield. The boy, shivering, stepped forward and raised his hands, his small voice cutting through the rising storm. Stop! Please! Stop fighting. The soldiers glanced at him, confused. The aliens paused, waiting. The boy's voice grew louder, though tears fell from his face. I don't know why this is happening. I just gave a blanket, that's all. I don't want anyone hurt because of me. The leader looked at him with a strange softness in his eyes. You call it small, but such acts are what shape the stars, little one. Now you must choose. The boy blinked. Choose? The leader nodded. Come with us and be honored as kin among our people. Or stay here and we shall leave. But know this, our warriors will remember, our council will remember, and the stars themselves will remember. The boy's heart raced. Stay, and continue a life of hunger, cold, and loneliness, or go, and step into a world he didn't understand, among warriors, among people who treated his single act like a legend. His chest tightened, his breath short. The humans behind him shouted, Don't listen, they're lying. Stay here, you're safe with us. But the boy thought about his life with humans, ignored. Unwanted, invisible, safe had never been a word that belonged to him. He looked back at the silver-blue alien, the one who had nearly died in his arms. The alien whispered softly, Brother, please come. The boy's eyes widened, the word echoing in his chest like a drumbeat. Brother, and in that moment he knew his answer, though it would change everything forever. The consequence, the boy stood between two worlds. The human soldiers behind him shouting warnings, the alien warriors before him waiting in silence. Every second felt heavy, as if the whole city was holding its breath. He looked down at his torn shoes, his dirty hands, his thin body shaking from hunger and cold. Then he looked up at the silver-blue alien who called him brother. For the first time in his life, someone had given him that word. Not beggar, not street rat, not useless, brother. His heart ached, his voice cracked, but he spoke. I'll go, with them. Gasps erupted from the humans hiding in the building. Soldiers shouted through radios. Hold position. The child is being taken. The boy flinched at their voices, but the alien leader raised one hand. No harm will come. He chooses freely. The silver-blue alien walked to the boy, kneeling so their eyes met. Your kindness saved me when I was nothing but a shadow. From this day, your name will be carried among our people, forever. The boy shook his head softly. I don't even have a name. The alien leader's eyes burned brighter. Then we will give you one. Before the boy could reply, a sudden roar shook the air. A tank engine revved. Then a cannon fired. The humans had lost patience. The blast thundered forward, but the alien warriors reacted as one. Shields of glowing energy flicked to life. Catching the explosion mid-air, the street shook. Glass shattered, people screamed. The boy stumbled back, covering his ears. The alien leader's voice thundered. We came in peace, yet you strike us. Do you wish to see war? The warriors slammed their weapons down. The ground cracked under the force, energy rippling like waves through the pavement. The boy cried out, Stop! Please stop! His voice broke through the chaos, and to his shock, both sides froze. The silver-blue alien placed a hand gently on his shoulder, steadying him. Your word carries weight now, it whispered. The commander of the human soldiers barked through the loudspeaker. They're manipulating you, boy. They'll use you, they'll twist you, don't let them take you. The boy's heart twisted, doubt clawed at him. Could this be true? Could the aliens be lying? But when he turned, he saw the human's eyes, cold, suspicious, already treating him like a traitor for standing near the aliens. And then he looked at the alien warriors, watching him with respect. Not pity, waiting for his command, not forcing, not threatening, just waiting. The boy lifted his chin. I was nothing to you, he whispered toward the human soldiers, his voice shaking but growing stronger. You walked past me every day. I was invisible, starving, freezing. And none of you cared. The silence that followed cut deeper than any weapon. He turned back toward the aliens, his small figure reflected in their glowing armor. But they cared for something small I gave. They cared. The alien leader knelt, his voice lower now, almost reverent. You showed us a truth we feared was gone, even in your weakness you gave. And that makes you stronger than any army. The warriors slammed their weapons again, the sound echoing like a drum of destiny. The boy's choice was made. The aliens formed a protective circle around him, their armor glowing brighter. The silver-blue alien spread its arms toward the sky, and suddenly beams of light descended. Ships appeared above the city, massive and silent, their hulls shining like liquid silver. People screamed and pointed. Some dropped to their knees in terror. The boy looked up, awe filling his chest. "Are those for me?" he whispered. The leader nodded. "For you? For what you represent." But even as the boy stepped forward toward the circle of warriors, his heart carried weight. He looked back one last time at the city that had been his prison, the place that never gave him a chance. He saw the soldiers still with weapons raised, the people glaring in fear, and he realized his kindness had not only saved one alien, it had set fire to something far larger. The boy was no longer invisible, no longer forgotten. He was the spark, and the consequence of his choice was only beginning to unfold. For in the shadows of the human world, leaders were already preparing, and in the halls of the alien council, whispers spread that a human child had been chosen, peace or war, salvation or destruction. It all now rested on the shoulders of a boy who once had nothing but a single blanket. The beginning of a legend, the city trembled under the weight of silence. The glow of alien ships hanging in the sky like silver suns. The boy stood at the center, surrounded by 200 alien warriors who bowed slightly toward him. For a moment he felt the weight of the world press down on his thin shoulders, yet deep inside a strange strength began to stir. The human soldiers still had their weapons raised, their commanders shouting, "Hold your ground. Don't trust them." But no bullet was fired, no rocket launched, for even the bravest could feel it. The tide had shifted. This was no ordinary boy anymore. The alien leader raised his hand, and a hush fell across the warriors. He turned to the boy, his golden eyes glowing. "Today you step beyond hunger, beyond pain, beyond loneliness. Today you step into history." The boy's lips trembled. "I don't know how to be anything more than what I am. I'm just me." The silver-blue alien, the one who had once lain dying under the boy's blanket, touched his arm softly. "You gave life without power. You gave hope without wealth. You already are more than you believe." A ramp extended from the largest ship above, glowing steps of light reaching down to the street. The alien leader gestured. "Come, the council waits to honor you, to name you among us." The boy's heart pounded. His bare feet touched the glowing steps, each one warmer than the cracked pavement of the city he had always known. He looked back once more, seeing the human crowd watching him, their faces a storm of fear, anger, and confusion. He saw in their eyes the same thing he had seen all his life. Not belonging, not wanted, and for the first time he did not feel pain from it. He felt freedom. As he climbed higher, the alien warriors followed in formation, their armor shining brighter as if celebrating. The humans dared not shoot, dared not move. For in their hearts, even they sensed it. This child no longer belonged to them. Inside the ship, the boy's breath caught. Walls of silver pulsed with light, stars projected in the air, constellations he had never seen before. The silver-blue alien smiled softly. "This is your home now."